This is a message from your guides reading for the Andromedan star being. And for this reading, I've only pulled one crystal for you. So I guess I'm going to be surrounding us in some positive space with my geode here. Okay, so I'm seeing this kind of dark green color and it keeps showing up, especially in your hands. I keep seeing it all over your hands. So this definitely has to do with like creating something, even artistic types of things, it feels like. Also, there's an energy of what you're bringing in general as well, but it's also kind of directly related to creative types of things. This dark green energy might have to do with a chakra as well. I don't feel like this is having to do with the heart chakra, but I think there was another chakra that did come up at one point that had a dark green color or or a really dark color. And I think this is also having to do with manifesting. There's an energy here having to do with manifesting, and there's something having to do with the chakra that has to do with manifesting as well. And then I also keep seeing a chakra. It's like in your mouth. It's like in the middle of your tongue. It seems like. So this is like a smaller chakra, and I'm not really seeing a specific color with this, but I don't feel like this is this dark green color that they're showing me. There's definitely some shifts that can take place now. Okay, so the first thing that they want to talk about, um, so as far as your questions go, but this wasn't really a question, but this did come up in the email that you sent that had your couple of questions in it. So you were saying you're glad that the karmic cycle between you and your parents is completed, but that isn't really exactly what they were saying. They were more saying that it's more like in the process of completing, like you are completing it by doing these things. So in other words, if you were to stop now and you were to stay really attached to them, it definitely wouldn't complete itself. You would stay attached and they would stay attached and you would probably still go into other lives with them, needing to complete various things with this specific soul group, this earthly family that you have. So you can move on and you can be with people that you resonate with more. and learn kind of higher things without this kind of baggage. And this is sort of like karmic lessons type of baggage. It's like energies that need to be completed, cycles that need to be completed, processes that need to be completed, lessons that need to be learned. And that's what kind of ties you to these specific people. And it's not that these people are bad for you. In fact, you needed them in this lifetime. So I'm going to talk about the geode a little bit here. So um, obviously there are different types of geodes. I have no idea what type of geode this is. It looks pretty greenish. Oh my God, this looks dark green. I just realized that. I did not realize that before, but this totally looks dark green. Yeah, there's like some dark like forest green and jade and olive green it looks like. Um, so anyway, but this geode, so I don't know what type it is, so I just kind of go by my intuition. The one thing that always comes up for me with this geode is it feels really grounding. And so there's an energy definitely of grounding and needing to ground. There's also like a healing quality coming in with the geode, and a feeling of like healing in terms of grounding. And this is like financially as well, also just in general when it comes to your independence and breaking certain bonds. These are all types of healing. Obviously, healing is pretty general. It has a pretty wide spectrum. There can be so many different ways that a person can require healing or that a person can become healed. Where am I? I don't know where I'm putting this. I want to put it over here and I want to keep holding it. Okay, I'm going to put it, my little buddy here. It's going to sit with me in the chair. Okay, anyway. But there's definitely some significance with this color that I completely didn't notice ever. I don't think I've ever stopped and thought about like what color this geode was. Actually, I was gonna say that I didn't think about before the reading, but actually I've never thought about the color of this geode, which is a little bit sad. But I've just never noticed it before at all. I guess I didn't need to, and for this reading, I do. So this geode, I'm now gonna register that it is a green geode. So anyway, there's obviously some energies coming in about that specific chakra. Um, well, yeah, that would have to do with grounding, though. If that chakra is about manifestation, then obviously it would have to do with grounding and grounding energies down. They keep reminding me about, I don't know, like an energy with this chakra of like where it's like in between. Um, I don't know if it was like in between like the upper chakras. I think so. It was in between the upper chakras and the lower chakras because it's feeling like it feels like it connects these two energies. Okay, that's what this is. Wherever it might be placed, but it feels like it's connecting these two energies. Yeah, they're saying it was in the middle. Okay, so but it feels like it connects these energies of like realm of ideas and what you're inspired to do and actually grounding it down and bringing it into full manifestations where it's grounded here in the physical. So it's kind of merging those two realms in a sense. So it enables you to manifest your goals and ideas and desires from up here to actually physical. You can touch them, tangible manifestations. And it feels like right now you are kind of in the middle. You are in this kind of transition period. So you can see how your thoughts and your ideas are coming to completion and they are manifesting. And you see how you're going to get your visa and all these different things are happening, all these different things are taking place, your business, you can see how it will be established in the future, taking off in the future, and you'll have more time where you can kind of make that a priority. So it's like you see the process of that happening, but it's still kind of far out there, like in the future. It still isn't right now. Where you're processing it happening as an experience, it's like right now you're in this experience of transitional waiting mode, which needs to occur to get from A to B. So sometimes processes, especially like something like a visa, you have to literally wait for it to come to you, like in the mail or email or whatever. But the point is, you have to wait for it to actually get processed, like on someone else's end. But you are actually processing something. You're in this kind of transitional, in the middle type of energy, which is exactly where this chakra is, what this chakra has to do with. Okay, I feel like your guides are kind of clearing something in the middle of the reading, and I have to kind of let that happen before anything else is going to come through. Okay, so I'm going to visualize some clearing as well. It feels like one thing your guides are communicating is like you don't want to be stuck, and that is like the nature of your being, even like your being type. Okay, not just as a star seed, but literally as like the specific type of star seed that you are, like an Andromedan, how they've talked about like there's not like one thing that they're good at, there's not like one person that they're into communicating with. They're kind of friends with everybody, in the universe or galaxy or whatever. Um, Not galaxy because they're friends with like all these different galaxies is the point. And even the fact that you have so many friends, energetically, you have so many different guides with like different varying energies, which isn't as definitely isn't normal for when I'm doing readings. Usually, um, the guides won't be so various, or sometimes maybe they'll be various but still kind of within a category, if that makes sense. Yours still, most of them I would say are extraterrestrial, but still they're from like all over the place, but it still doesn't feel like it has to be limited to that, and it even feels like you can have different temporary guides all of a sudden come in or out as needed. And that's just because of all the people that you've ended up kind of engaging with during these past lives that you've had on Andromeda. So you don't like to be stuck. That's like your energy. That's something about you that's unique to your energy field, your vibration, and even as an Andromedan, that also makes it true and adds to that. And that's even part of the reason that your soul resonates with being from there and with being Andromedan as its origin. Because of this nature to not get stuck in one thing, you want to try everything, you want to learn every language, you know, you want to learn every dance technique or whatever it is. You want to learn all the different approaches to one specific thing, and you want to learn about other people's ideas and collect all these different pieces from all these different ways of thought. And you can basically fit in anywhere. You know, you can make friends anywhere, but there are connections that you have to let go of. And that brings us to another the next question. So one thing they're coming in with is no, they really don't feel like your soul family is in Korea, especially not the large majority of them. Even if there were one or two, but sometimes it's like you can bump into soul family that you've met before, but they aren't necessarily important for your life now or your journey right now. And even with that, it feels like if you did bump into one or two here or there, they would be very temporary. It doesn't feel like this would be long lasting. It feels like sometimes we have the opportunity to decide to be stuck or not, or to almost get restuck or not. So your guides are okay with you being comfortable, but at the same time, don't get stuck there. Because it feels like a lot of the opportunities are kind of, they go at a dead end there. At the same time, you need to be there now. So why feel uncomfortable? It's good to be comfortable. It's good to feel like, you know, you can get things done, or things are convenient, or that you're happy there. And it feels like as well though, when you move, it feels like you're going to end up feeling really at home there as well, even more so. But it does feel like that takes some time. It takes time to get used to a place. It takes time to find who your real friends are, your real soul family is. It takes time to get things established. So they're saying that that's normal. And sometimes it's easier to be a little more on your own in a place that you are more comfortable, familiar with, than some place that's unfamiliar to you and like kind of foreign to you that you're not as used to. So you can feel a little bit off there in a sense, in comparison at times. But that feels like it's just this like transitional energy. At the same time, you know when you're there that you're supposed to be there, that your soul is calling you to be there, and you want to be there in that place. And you know that this is where you are meant to go back. But obviously, you are going to be visiting um, your own country, obviously, at different points. They are saying, however, that that will get less though as you continue to make stronger ties in the new place. The stronger the new ties get over here, the less strong the older ones are going to get over there. And the more distance there'll be between you and those old ties and structures, even like family structures, because eventually you'll have a new family structure. So it feels like you won't even be able to visit as much. And they're going to be having to visit you as well sometimes. But they've already done that anyway. But it feels like they'll be doing that more often. You'll be going over there less often. I keep feeling my stomach so intensely, and then I start kind of feeling like there's something releasing energetically. So clearly, your guides are focusing some energies on your stomach as well. I know that isn't exactly where this chakra is located, but it feels like they're definitely directing some energies there. But in order for this energy from this chakra to get down lower, um, it feels like there is a significant block there beneath it that they're clearing in the stomach area. Those two main chakras in the stomach, it feels like, so the solar plexus and the sacral especially. There's a lot of energies generated there, like some confusion. Some of this has to do with your self-identity, and some of this is kind of old. Some of this has to do with like your current situation, and confusion about that and how that's going to unfold. And you just have to kind of let go and trust things with that. And you're doing a good job with that. But there's still energies of that that could get better and that could feel more stable or feel more trust there. It also feels like while you're over there, you can still be working on other things, other projects. And it feels like you know what those are, or you can think of what those are. And they don't have to be anything really serious, just things to kind of enable you to still feel like you're moving forward and you're doing something with your energy still to advance yourself, creatively speaking as well, it feels like. But they're saying that you get bored pretty easily and you have to have like stimulation, um, mentally especially it feels like, and emotionally as well. So something that you're excited about, that you're passionate about. And they're also saying to follow your intuition. They're saying that's something really important. Not only that, it's something they're saying that you happen to be good at. You're very good at listening to your intuition. and not letting other people sway you. And they're saying that that's a really good thing for this lifetime, especially, and something that's really needed, something that's to be valued. Whoa, there's a definite Andromedan energy there. Oh, at least one. Definitely some Andromedan guides around. Wow. All Andromedans feel so similar. They're all reminding me of Flash Star. They're not saying anything. I still feel like they're clearing your energy out. There are still things that they want to clear out. They don't want you to get stuck. And this thing that you mentioned recently about running and how your intuition, you were feeling like running, that does feel like something that you should do to enable some of this energy to not remain stuck and to kind of get moving and flowing. It's like you have to kind of, you have to make sure that you're doing things um, that still like qualify as forward movement in a sense, even while you're in this waiting process. I even feel like that's part of the reason that this horse guide is here as well, because he moves forward. Horses are movers. Horses move forward. Obviously, they take breaks, you know. They sit back and they eat a lot of hay and, you know, they socialize and things, but still, they are forward movers. They, your guides are saying that they can also carry large loads and they can carry responsibilities and different burdens in a sense, but they're saying not in a serious way. They mean it more in the way of like responsibilities, and responsibilities can be fun or they can be the polar opposite of that. It really depends on what you're enabling yourself to do in terms of what responsibilities you're enabling yourself to be carrying or kind of disabling yourself by carrying. So some feel like a heavy burden, and then others feel like something light that you want to add to your backpack. And you want to keep it there for a good use. So it's not weighing you down, it's actually helping you move forward, but you're still carrying it as a responsibility. And it's still something that you are doing um, as a step like toward forward movement. And you can still be doing things even along the lines of thinking and thinking things through and kind of processing things or how you're going to do things once you get this visa and once you're over there, what are you going to be doing? Otherwise, you get over there and you're kind of all over the place and you just have to jump into it. So they're saying that it can be better, it can benefit you to have a little bit of a plan beforehand. But and they're saying that you know that already, but they're saying to just keep that in mind that you can be doing things, you can be thinking things through, planning things, and encouraging yourself to move forward in that way. Even if you are physically like kind of sitting tight right now and a little stuck in a sense, at the same time you're just transitioning slowly, you're not really stuck. You're just in this transitional time right now where you're waiting for something to process finally. But it feels like once it does, though, you need to have like a plan. And you need to have things that you can be doing right away that you can jump into. You don't want to have to come together with your plan and come up with that from scratch in a sense. Or you haven't thought about it in a while and now all of a sudden you're kind of retracing your steps, which they're still kind of calling from scratch. So they're referring to that as well. Even if you had plans before and you're going back to them, still energetically in a sense, if there was this long break, they're still kind of considering it starting from scratch over again. Because you have to retrace your steps and go all the way back to this and then figure out how it can work for you now in the moment. So it's better to be kind of formulating a plan. Okay, here they go again with the stomach again. Whoa. A lot of energies here they're trying to clear out of the stomach. So there's a butterfly appearing on your stomach. Now this is not a guide. In this case, this is more like a reference to transformation. And this feels like you're moving forward. It feels like your ultimate goal. Okay, so again, they're clearing these blocks out for that to happen. Okay, so I'm going to spend a little bit of time clearing here because that's what they are wanting me to do right now. Whoa, feeling my back all of a sudden. This feels like it's like in between where the solar plexus would be and where the heart chakra is. It's down beneath the heart chakra. There's definitely pain in there. It almost feels like they're trying to activate something, clear something as well, but almost it feels like almost push something out of the way, like a block that's there, so that they can then like turn something on. And they're just showing me these kind of generic pictures. There's like a boulder pushed out of the way, and there's a doorknob, and they want to turn. Okay, or a light. They're showing me a light. Turn the light on. So, okay, so they want to open the chakra and they want to activate it. This doesn't only feel like a chakra though. I mean, this feels like an energy center, which a lot of times you use that word to say chakra as well. But I feel like there's various things with this as well. It doesn't only feel completely chakra related. It just sort of feels energy related, which obviously can have to do with the chakra as well. And I feel like mostly it does, but not only. This almost feels like a cramp, like in my kind of upper back here, like lower upper back. And this is especially on the right side, I'm noticing. Your right side has to do a lot with manifesting. So the left side is more receiving, it can be absorbing, but your right side is more what you're putting out and what you're manifesting. In the throat chakra, there's something that they're really trying to clear with that as well in terms of self expression, also self doubt. Will, you have a really strong will, but still they're even enhancing that a bit because they don't want you to get stuck in something. They don't want you to get stuck in old patterns. It feels almost like you've learned to have a strong will. Before, though, when you were younger, it feels like not as much. You didn't have as strong of a will, like coming out anyway, surfacely, and you had to remove certain blocks. And also, it just feels like you also just had to get older. And you feel like you can say more as you get older, as you're more of an adult. You're more allowed to express that even by other people and also even by yourself. So some of this was almost like an age limit thing. But to some people, you're still in a sense kind of under them in the sense of authority and things like that. They still almost feel like, even though they don't, they still almost feel like they have a little bit of an edge over you in a sense. Or like they have kind of a foothold that they can use to kind of manipulate you or get you to see something differently in a sense or get you to see their side. And they feel like there are strings that they can pull from because, they're your family um, or even friends. There's somebody close to you, but especially it feels like authority figures. So parents, even siblings, but parents, definitely. So it feels like you have to really ground into your own energies. It also feels like some of this transition process you're going through, it also feels like it's the completion of certain things karmically as well. And you're going through that right now. So again, you don't want to get stuck in something, but it feels like this is part of what enables you to move forward. Because it feels like you've kind of gone back over there to kind of complete something before you transition completely into something new. So you're kind of tying some old strings right now, or untying some old strings is more like it, and kind of ripping apart some old strings, throwing them away, um, getting them off of you. And even removed from the other person in some of the cases, but definitely off of you, whether they keep theirs or not. So that's part of this process that you're going through right now. So they want you to know that. Energetically, you're doing a lot right now, even if you're kind of sitting tight. even if in some ways there's not a lot of physical movement happening right now in terms of goals and dreams. But again, there are ways that they've been saying that you can compensate for that, and that you should, to make sure that that energy is still moving forward. So again, moving your body with like running, like whatever was coming to you intuitively, writing down your goals still, and kind of getting that process going mentally more and more of a plan of action for when you're over there. And but it feels like this is really important to for the energy flow. It feels like to not just sit and do nothing, even if you're in this transition where you're kind of waiting it out. Because it feels like that's only gonna cause things to take longer. Whereas if you're looking forward and you're still trying to take steps to move forward towards that, the energy is going to know, okay, I have to go somewhere. I have things to look forward to. I need to move in this direction more and more and more because you're still directing it in that way. So don't get too comfortable and don't give off too many vibes of that, it feels like. But at the same time, they like that you feel comfortable there. They don't want you to, again, if you have to be there, then why feel uncomfortable or bad or sad or something, right? But know that you are moving and that's where you need to go. Now, as far as this thing of, now they're talking about this other question that you had, this thing about actors and actors from your country and resonating with them, and are they soul family? And that really feels like they are not. Um, this feels more like messages that are needed for you at the time. And sometimes the way an actor is coming across, obviously in a movie or something, but then even in their personal life, like, well, they have their personal life, they have themselves, and then even personally, they have this kind of persona that they put out. You might not resonate with them as an actual person very much at all, or even if you did, it just doesn't feel like they are soul family or like you are going to meet them or like that's on your path really in any way. It just doesn't feel like you would need to. And obviously, you never know whose hand, in a sense, you're going to shake. Um, but there's definitely no sense of any connection with those people, like you're ever going to really speak to them or be friends with them or anything like that. Because that just doesn't feel like it's what's needed at all on your path. This just feels like inspiration, upliftment, um, kind of characters that you can resonate with or relate to. And this could even be this could be about characters that they play, or this could even be about the persona that they're putting out themselves. But again, it's not really about them as a person because they are saying that you don't know them as a person. No matter what they're saying outwardly, that's still what they're presenting, even then as an actor. Okay, back to clearing. A lot of clearing. in this reading. Okay, there goes the stomach again. And now I'm feeling my eyes. So strange. And just kind of my head. Kind of feels like they're moving some energies around almost, or they're just sending you a lot of, I think that's what it is. They're sending you a lot of energies, and then your energies are kind of reacting to it, moving around, um, pushing out in some cases, because that's what they need to be doing, or like escaping in a sense. So a lot of this needs to be released. So this is also this kind of releasement state or cycle that you're in right now. So before moving forward, sometimes you have to just let go of old baggage and old stuff and clean that out. So that's kind of what is happening right now, what you're in the process of doing. There's definitely a significant block in the solar plexus and the sacral as well. It just keeps bumping into it over and over and over. And again, the throat chakra. And they're showing me the butterfly again, and this is just again representing transformation. This that they're showing me is not even feeling like an animal totem or anything. Just this representation of transformation that they're sending. And like transition, transitioning from one place into another place. There's also a feeling of being still, clearing your mind, and that it's a good idea as well to meditate here and there, even every day for a little while. It doesn't have to be every day though. But at the same time, they don't want you to get ungrounded. And it does feel like too much meditation could lead to that. So it feels like it's a good thing, but it feels almost like it has to be offset with some kind of more physical grounding kind of exercise. Like either you're moving your physical body, you're working on a project, something. They're putting energy into your hands as well. I'm feeling energy just going up my arms. So again, some of this is having to do with creative energies as well. What you're manifesting, that kind of creative type of energy, but then also more like an artistic kind of type of creative energy as well. You might even, this sounds a little weird, but you might even think about, if you resonate with this, you might even think about adding some like spices to your foods, like red, orange, yellow spices with those colors, or even vegetables with some of those colors. Even if you want to eat like some green vegetables for this other chakra. But I'm feeling like especially these these three, and in some ways they are a little bit more physically focused. So eating something with those colors can actually help to balance those out, weirdly enough. So that's also something that they're suggesting, but you don't have to do this. Um, this is obviously a suggestion if you resonate with it, but that can help you as well. It even feels like eating things that are a little bit spicier, even because again, this has to do with like flow. Sometimes something's spicy, like if you're eating something with cayenne, for instance, that's both. That's red and it's spicy, right? If you're eating something like that, it can not only help you with your root chakra and helping to balance that, but physically, just because of the spice, it helps like your heart pump more blood and things like this. So it helps to even physically get like your physical juices flowing, your physical energies flowing. So this helps maintain your chakras as well, believe it or not. So that's a suggestion coming in. Even water can help with that kind of thing. But it still feels like water can actually get stuck. You can retain water in your system. So again, you have to make sure that you're doing something that is kind of pulling that through your body, where it's not just sitting there. Otherwise, that's just a waste of trying to be healthier and drink more water, and it doesn't feel like it would really do anything. Because it feels like the water could help, but there's almost like, I think even because of the chakras that this is specifically related to, it almost feels like you need some fire energies going through, even more so than water. Like for instance, a person can flush by drinking water or doing like a lot of crying, right? A person can flush different types of toxins out. In this case, this is really about moving forward. Um, and so you can cleanse some of this with water for sure. That's why they're bringing it up. But again, it feels like it has to be balanced or offset with something else. It has to be accompanied, not really offset. That was more of the meditation thing. That was like you need to offset that so that you don't become ungrounded. This is no, it just has to be combined with something. Otherwise, it can just get stuck. It can almost be like another thing that you're adding, which doesn't usually come through in my readings if they mention water. It's usually it flows through, it helps get rid of toxins, it flushes you out. But this, again, it's feeling more like you're needing some kind of like fire kind of energies there, more so than water. So that would need to be accompanied with something else. Now, obviously, they are saying though that you still need to drink enough water to keep things flowing. The body needs water, and that's a good representation. But for this specific thing, the thing that's required the most is this kind of fire energy and things that are representing that. So even like peppers, like orange, yellow, red peppers, any kind of vegetable with those colors or anything that you resonate with eating those colors. But that's even part of the reason it's something like physical exertion where you're sweating, your body is heating up, your heart is pumping more. This is another reason why that's a good thing. It's because of the energy that it relates to. It's about your body heating up or firing up. So it helps those lower chakras that are more connected in a sense to physical things. And they have physical needs in this way. So physical movement, it feels like, is almost required with some of the specific chakras to help them more physically align, because they're there to help you physically with a lot of things, energetically as well. But still, they're kind of focused and geared more towards the kind of physical body, physical aspect in a sense, even though obviously they're energetic and they're helping you energetically still. Some chakras are more geared toward the mental body, some are more geared toward the emotional body, some are just more in general energy body, more like a spiritual kind of alignment that they're helping to function. So we have all of these bodies, including our physical ones. So naturally, some of the chakras are geared specifically more towards helping that body and that structure. And not only that body, but also just physical in general, physical things manifesting, moving forward, being created. So not only the physical body, and but kind of physical movement in general with our body, and also with other physical things around us that we're going to see, that we want to create. And also they're saying that this helps with breathing. If you're doing a physical activity, you have to breathe more. So this brings in this idea of air as well. So there's kind of air and water and fire going on here with this focus, though, especially on fire energies, and that really being what's needed most. You might even feel some heat. If you ever feel your guides working on you, if you call on them to work on you, that might even be one of the ways that they come in or that they let you know that they're there. You might feel almost like you're getting hot somewhere. I'm saying that now because I felt that on my back all of a sudden, and then I'm feeling like that's almost one of the ways they can communicate that they're helping to clear you. But I don't feel like you're really going to notice that unless you're thinking about it, or you're kind of more open to it in this way of like kind of looking out for it or noticing it. But if you ask them to clear you, this also helps them as well. It's good, like before you go to bed at night, to ask your guides to clear you. Okay, so that is all that your guides have to say for this reading. So thank you very much for allowing me to do this reading for you. As always, I truly hope that it benefits you. Namaste.